I gotta tell you about this one time. I ended up on a test drive with one of my subjects all alone, and it's safe to say I probably could have died. Okay, so I'm working this major like car accident case, right? This guy was in a car accident and he said he couldn't drive anymore, and like driving gives him severe PTSD. So I'm out here doing my job, minding this guy's business. I follow him to several different car dealerships. Well, when you see him outside of his car, you can see that his right arm is like immobile. He holds it close to his body real still. And that's how he walks around. When he gets in the car, you know, he's got like the tinted windows, and so like you can't really see inside, right? And so finally at the third dealership he went to, he finds a sports car. So he's talking to the sales guy for like, I don't know, forever. Y'all know how car dealerships are. Anyways, he walks out to the lot with like the sales guy. He's showing interest in this car. Well, so then I walk over there. I start showing interest in the same car. But like I didn't say anything. I just kind of smiled and leaned over to make it clear that like I was listening to what the sales guy had to say about the stupid car. So then the sales guy asked my subject, "You want to take her for a spin there, fella?" And my subject's like, "Heck yeah, man, I sure do." And the salesman is like, I don't know, 14. Comes and gets the keys and he's skipping outside. By this time, my subject and I had already been just like getting inside the windows of other cars while we're waiting. Meanwhile, I'm videotaping my guy covertly. So the guy comes out with the keys and my subject looks at me and he's like, "Why don't you take a ride with us? You can join my test drive and see what you think." And like he said it out loud in front of God and everybody, in front of the car salesman. So like it wasn't really creepy. Like he was legit just trying to be nice. Well, he's not supposed to be driving, right? So I was like, this is my opportunity. So of course I'm like, yes, I'd love to. So we load up in the car and we go to leave. Well, then the little teenage like salesman, he hears his name like on the intercom situation thing. He gets out of the car and he says, "I tell you what, I have to go take care of this inside. You guys go take a test drive and then come back and tell me what you think." Well, my subject is thrilled, like beyond measure. Well, then I panic because I don't want to be alone with this guy. He could be a serial killer. And I have moxie, so I'm like, all right, bet. So my guy's in the front seat and he looks back at me in the back seat. "Come on up here, little miss. I've got a seat right here for you." Listen, I'm not the brightest pencil in the shed, okay? But like I had a job to do. And like also I didn't think it was so weird because me and my husband bought a car one time and they totally let us test drive it with no salesman there. So like if you're a car dealership worker, can you like weigh in? Is that standard? Anywho, so we're making our way down the road. I'm videotaping this guy covertly from the passenger seat and suddenly his arm is healed and we're in NASCAR. Well, then this fella decides he wants to get creepy going 100 miles an hour. He's driving like a bat out of hell, hot dogging down the street in the sports car he thinks is a race car. Like he ain't got the sense God gave a goose. This fella think he's Evel Knievel, Mario Andretti. He has the audacity to look at me and say, "You know, I could kidnap you and no one would even know it until we're halfway out of town." I'm sorry, what? So now like 100% for sure, this dude's gonna do a murder. So I'm like, great, this is the way I die. Well, I must have looked as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs because he looked at me and says, "Oh no, I'm just kidding. So anyway, spoiler alert, he did not do a murder on me that day. We get back to the dealership, get out of the car, the little sales kid is waiting right there, and I excuse myself. Well, anyways, my subject ends up leaving. Can't buy the car because if he did, he'd be busted. I turn my case in with the video and I find out this guy wanted $10 million because he can never work or drive again because of his injuries from this accident, but because of my video inside the car, they couldn't justify it, so they paid his medical bills, and he ended up walking away with $16,000 before paying the attorney. This guy's out here all willy-nilly test driving sports cars with a champagne taste and a beer budget.